back to the We Don't Know Sports podcast. This is Chad the Mark with
Mr. Brown
and
Canadian Biggie.
And, I'm hoping I can be here for long enough to enjoy. We got game one tonight. I just wanted to kind of start there. So we got a sweep on one side of the conference finals. We got a game 7 on the other.
Looked like we were going to have 2 sweeps.
But can we get down to it? Like, I think, I thought Boston was going to do it.
So real quick, I was adamant last week.
You were.
That it never happened over like 150 times or whatever. And it wasn't going to happen this time. Well, then, they had to make me sweat. We went to game 7.
Did you change your opinion?
You needed a rolled ankle on the first play of the game in game 7.
Hey, listen, I don't make up the scenarios, okay? I just live with the outcomes.
Did you think, though, when it was going to game 7 that, all right, maybe Boston is going to do this?
I didn't, because how hard is it to win 4 straight?
It's pretty hard.
I mean, especially after, I don't know, I felt like...
I don't know. The Nuggets just swept the Lakers. That was 4 straight.
Yeah, but how many
sprinkling shade?
How many sweeps has there been as opposed to coming back from game 7 or coming back from 3-0? It don't happen.
But you know what was weird about that series is how one-sided every game was, except for I guess game 6 or 5. But everybody got blown out every game.
Game 6 was the buzzer beater tip in from Evan White or Derek White or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, then you had NBA players chirping in. Of course, Draymond Green has to get involved. And a lot of NBA players just don't like Boston for obvious reasons. And he's like, screw those guys. Screw those fans. I'm glad Boston lost. Because you see the old meme with Hogan writing NWO on the trailer after Jaylen Brown's poor performance.
Isn't that bad?
What's weird is how much they complain about the fans in Boston. Yeah, Bill Russell's beloved there, like Big Papi, these African-American men who are sports heroes in the town are beloved. But you have a bunch of players come in and say they don't like playing in Boston because all the people are white and they're racist.
Is it a stereotype because their best player in history is Larry Bird? Is that why?
Maybe, but I think Boston has that reputation on their own as that city too, so that doesn't help any credence to it. I didn't realize there's that many people saying that, like players.
Oh, yeah. It's been a thing for years.
Mm.
You know what I'm happy that came out of this, though, is that they didn't quit and they did push it to a game 7, which I think looks good for Joe Mazzulla.
So he keeps his job, right? He has to.
They announced today they're going to keep him. But Ime Udoka, whatever, went down to Houston. They're expecting him to raid his bench, his assistant coaches.
Well, they
because they were his.
Yep.
They the people they lost anyway. They didn't replace. That was something I heard that he kind of had a shorter his position. That
you know what? Replaced. Maybe we could get Mazzulla to take Huggins as an assistant because he'd fit right in Boston.
He could. He would. He would.
Same mentality. You'd have to be the assistant Huggy Bear.
Larry Bird ain't coming through that tunnel, but Huggy Bear could.
All right. He's keeping his job. The other thing, before I forget, I got to ask. There was a couple moves on the coaching carousel. So Nick Nurse went to Philadelphia.
Forget that one. We can talk about that one next.
And then Monty Williams.
How bad are you as a franchise when you have to give a coach who's never won a title and has only been in the playoffs a couple times the richest contract in coaching history?
Yeah,
who?
Monty Williams.
With the Detroit, yeah.
6 years, $72 million.
What was Detroit's record last year?
I don't know, but I know that they offered the job to 2 guys before him, and they both turned it down.
That's what I'm saying.
They probably just turned down an interview.
There's no direction of that franchise that I feel good about.
They're only drafted
Detroit basketball.
Yeah, that means something different to the kids nowadays.
Yeah, there's no Ben Wallace.
There is no Ben Wallace. No Tayshaun Prince. Right. No Bill Laimbeer.
Well, and then what do you think about the Nick Nurse going to Philly? I like that hire.
Yeah, why were you so dismissive of that out the gate? That's not sexy enough to talk about?
No. You talk about the team that had to spend so much money because they're so poor and they've fallen so far.
You just would rather talk about the bad business.
How far of a stab they had to make. If it were any other sport or quarterback picking up a free agent, we'd be dogging people for overpaying. So that's what I was getting at. That's how bad they are. That's how far they've fallen. And they're not like the friggin' Sacramento Kings. Detroit has a rich history. So that was the point I was making. I think Nick Nurse is a nice hire in Philadelphia.
Do you think it matters with Harden at this point with him? Or
Harden's going to Houston.
He's gone.
Right. So if you're Nurse coming in, you're expecting him to be gone.
Yeah, I think he knows he's building around Embiid, and then he's going to try to
Maxey.
Right. He's going to strategize that way.
Yeah.
I think they're better off.
You were talking about just like how teams will retool, reload, and how Detroit has had this inability to do so and whatnot. Just talking about the coaches, like again, we talked about Spoelstra being like maybe that guy right now, but isn't this crazy? Miami's back in the finals.
He's been to 6 NBA finals now.
It's insane.
Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
And
that's insane.
And this is, I heard somebody on the radio talk about LeBron, that he just leaves franchises in the wasteland. Like when he comes in,
Miami.
When he leaves. Well, no, I mean maybe they did, but it's amazing
He's
that they
got that calming influence.
They put it back together twice.
How many times did LeBron go to the finals with the Heat? Twice?
4 times.
4 times?
All 4
not
years
one.
he was there.
It couldn't
Not
be 4
2.
times.
Yeah, they went to the finals
So
4 times.
Shaq and Wade only went once?
Yep.
Okay, so that was the one, 4th LeBron, and then this one's the 6th.
No, they went bubble year. They lost to the Lakers.
Yep.
He wasn't the head coach when they went. That was Pat Riley.
Oh, still Riley.
He stepped in. They fired Stan Van Gundy.
That's right. So Riley came in when Shaq and Wade.
Yep.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
Dude, I was at a thrift store today and they had like 2K6 there. It was Shaq on the Heat on the cover.
Nice.
I remember when he got off the boat and he was wearing all white.
What was his name?
was
The Big
Jack.
Flame?
It is June. Happy Pride Month, everybody.
It's probably his best nickname.
So I don't even know where. I did have another little nugget I wanted to drop here. The Heat. Do you know what they ranked in 3-point shooting during the regular season
I'm
Like
gonna
as a
say,
team?
as a team?
right around 18th or 20th. They should have been.
It's 28th.
Oh, wow.
See, I didn't want to say that low because you got Tyler here.
Do you know what? Do you know what they are in the playoffs?
Duncan.
You know what they are in the playoffs?
I'm going to go 12th. They're
Yeah.
best in the playoffs.
Best 3-point shooting team.
You know what?
That's
Why did I
just-
say 12?
I don't know. I was letting it slide. I thought
Oh.
maybe we were counting 16 on both sides.
We are.
We were. What's funny is that me and Mr. Brown had this conversation about the finals yesterday, and I think Denver can sweep them or it's 4-1. I said their one chance is if you have Strauss and Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero will be back for the finals, get hot, and they all shoot like 50% from the 3-point line.
It could happen. Do you think Bam does well?
I think Bam gets his dick kicked.
I think it's going to be ugly.
We talked about that yesterday, off the air, clearly. But the fact is, so AD, when healthy, is one of the best centers in the league, if not the best.
Right.
But now you got Bam, and like we're talking about not just Joker and Bam going at it, but then you have Gordon, you have Porter, who are all long, right?
Yeah.
Miami's tallest player is Bam, and he's like 6'9",
Yeah.
and like Porter's like 6'9".
Yep.
So like, how do they match that length?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
There's no way.
What's your game plan to stop Denver if you're Miami? We all assume that Denver's
You're gonna
winning
have
this.
to do a college version of ball control.
You know what I would do? And this is never going to happen. I would put Jimmy Butler on the Joker full court so that he can't even bring the ball up the court. That just disrupts their whole offense.
So then if they get it to him in the post, it's late in the shot clock and there's less options.
So then he's not controlling the tempo anymore.
Yeah.
But put Jimmy on him and say, hey, do what you can. We'll help you.
That'd be a bold strategy.
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying it wouldn't work. I think I would do the opposite to where I would try to make him beat you with scoring.
Right.
Because that's not where he's comfortable. He doesn't want to score 45.
So don't double him at all.
Yeah, like let him get his. Make him where he can't. If he can score 35 points and he's got 5 assists, I'd feel a lot better about that than I would if he had 22 points and 14 assists.
How well do you see him dribbling the ball up the court, though, if you're saying Jimmy, pick him up?
I know, but are you going to wear out your guy? Maybe, maybe not.
He's that dog. He got that dog
He
in him.
does have that dog in him. We've established this. I'm not saying it doesn't. You just don't see that very often in the NBA either.
So we're all on the Nuggets to win.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like in a perfect scenario, what would Miami have to do to even be competitive? And
Can I say something? And then I am, of course, a LeBron hater, and I'm just going to say this anyway. But a lot of times people say LeBron carrying the Cavs to the finals is the greatest, accomplishment, blah, blah, blah. This run by Jimmy Butler is the greatest. I'm him. I'll take anybody with me run in the history of basketball. They have 5 undrafted players. Gabe Vincent's a D-League guy. You're asking for big minutes out of Duncan Robinson, who's just a spot-up shooter off the bench. Tyler Hero broke his hand in the first round. Bam Adebayo's been up and down.
Yeah. Let's not forget last year, too. When they lost to the Celtics, Jimmy just came out and straight up said it in the postgame after the series is over. We'll be back next year, but we're winning. And he did it.
I didn't even remember that.
You think about this Heat team, and they're talking about them being, it's the 8 seed. They finished the season as the 7. Well, last year, I think they were the 1 or the 2. They went to 7 games with Boston. Jimmy shoots a pull-up 3 at the end of the game, going for the win. They're that shot away from being in the finals last year.
All right, we're going to have to take a break because Mr. Brown's got his autograph giveaway coming up. And I do want to ask about the NBA ref burner account thing when we come back. Because I read a little bit about it and I don't know enough, so I'm going to see if you can help fill me in. But who are we giving away tonight?
Oh, you asked me too quick. I've got I don't know. I don't remember.
He's got wheels.
I picked them out a week ago, so I didn't do one last week.
Planned it out. So anyway, it's almost 7 p.m. here Eastern Standard Time, so it's time for Mr. Brown to go live on America's Pastime for the Love of Baseball. So we'll be back after he's done giving away some autographs.
Yeah. So where did we leave off? We were going to talk that.
And we're back.
Burner count.
Something like it. We were definitely talking about that. So what was his name? Something Lewis, Mike Lewis.
All I know is that
we're going to talk about Carl Lewis.
We'll mention him later.
Eric Lewis.
What I do know is that him not being a ref in the finals this year is a huge deal because he has been one in each of the last 4 finals.
I saw that. That's the only thing I know, but I guess what he's doing is he's created a Benny Brownfoot, if you will, an alternate account.
Okay.
And is criticizing officiating with that account.
That's amazing.
So that is why he would be in trouble, is because you're not supposed to.
He is speaking outside of the allowances of the league when it comes to officiating, where like coaches or players would get fined for saying that type of stuff in a post game. He's doing it with a burner account.
I love the creativity myself. I think he needs to be elevated to the president of the referees union.
What is it? I was just going to say, what is it with the NBA and burner accounts?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. I don't think of any other league or sport that has the burner account, but the NBA,
you see it all the time. I remember, didn't Durant have one?
Yes.
He's criticizing people who criticize him.
That's hilarious.
Now referees are like, well, if they can do it, I can do it.
Yep.
It's so dumb.
If they can match my level of intensity with a Benny Brownfoot type name, then I'll give them more props.
Well, they can. The way they'll do that is they'll just go to ChatGPT to figure out what to tweet next. How do you like that for a segue?
That's good.
You like it?
Yeah.
So he was doing his autograph giveaway, and we're just saying this for anybody listening. He doesn't know what this is. He called it something.
If you had to guess,
I said chat GPS.
If you had to guess, what do you think it is?
I'd say it's like computer animated, like just throwing numbers in there and picking out rankings.
Like the Matrix?
Yeah, like AI.
So
anyway, so I've seen it on Facebook in a group even a lot. Like, this is our list of top 10 hitters of all time. This is their top 10 center fielders of all time. I don't know who the hell made the list. Chat GPS did.
So what I've seen is the joke I've seen going around the most is it's 2040 and you're going to have heart surgery, but your surgeon graduated using Chat GTP.
Yeah, because like there's kids like completely passing like exams, tests, anything I write an essay on, Chat GPT will just write this essay for me.
You put the info into there, it poops one out for you, and it's original through them. You're not plagiarizing something you read in a book. You copy it down and turn it in.
You could say like, mega story about me, Greg, at the age of 40, learning how to pitch left-handed and became the closer for the Atlanta Braves World Series team, and it would create the story for you.
So then how would people know if someone did that and someone decided to write a book about it?
That's the point.
We're getting to the part of Fantasyland with technology where the deep fakes and the voices.
Yeah, like
That stuff's like real now. Where we used to watch movies and it was somebody fake being somebody else.
You know how many videos I've seen of Arnold, just playing different characters?
Yeah.
He was Kathy Bates in Misery. It was fantastic. It's almost up there with like the people doing the card breaks.
So I feel like what year was Terminator first one released? 1984?
Maybe.
Didn't George Orwell write a book, 1984?
He did.
Everything in those two things has come to life.
It's a prophecy.
We got robots. We
that
got
vacuum
learning
our house.
robots, too.
But
Cats and dogs living together. Our pets' heads are falling off.
it's anarchy.
I can't take it.
So what I wonder is where Ted Williams cryogenically froze his head, could he come back now with a robot body and go back to hitting 340?
Yeah, me and Chad talked about that earlier.
How is this referenced twice in a day?
Only it was. It's
We're literally talking about Ted Williams' frozen head already.
It was on Robot Chicken, and it had Walt Disney's head on a robotic like spider body, and he went and destroyed, took over Cuba.
Oh.
Well, the same thing needs to happen with Ted's head because he hated the media anyway. Now's your chance, Ted.
You can just ask ChatGPT to help him along the way. But, I figured Biggie was a big fan of it because if you ask ChatGPT who the greatest basketball player of all time is, what do you think it says?
Michael Jordan.
It does. And it says you can make an argument and it lists like 4 or 5 other players.
Yeah.
But that's it. It makes a case for Michael Jordan. But you could also say some of these other people.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting how you put information into it and it spits it back out. And the deeper they get into it, the more it learns, the more accurate it becomes. Just like skeptical worried. Like, it'd be cool if we were in high school and we could use it to get an A in a class. But people in college who are using it to get ahead that we are eventually going to depend on in our life, like a surgeon.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
Well, it gets even better than that. There was a South Park episode about this, and one of the kids was using it to talk to his girlfriend through text.
Oh, yes.
So, he was just like sending, and they really connected, and she was like falling in love with him because of these texts. And it wasn't even him, and they were eating dinner or something, and she brought something up, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, you said that your uncle did the same thing to you, and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? When did I say that? But I guess, his chat GPT decided at one point his uncle did something to him.
The more disconnected we become as technology advances,
Right.
more doors open for, the fake doctors and surgeons and people and voices. All going downhill.
It is depressing.
I know every generation says it, but it's like I feel sorry for my kids, and I'm so glad. I wish I was born earlier, but I'm sure as hell glad I wasn't born later.
Yes. I mean, could you imagine being a kid? Could you imagine being like a senior in high school right now?
It'd be terrible.
I'd be petrified.
So if you had, Isaac just graduated and we were talking, basically 2 years of his high school life was COVID.
Yeah.
Sit at home, learn from your computer. What if I don't do well on a computer? Here, learn more. Oh, I'll have my dad help me with my math. Whoops, wrong. The answer's right. Everything. There's
Why
this
didn't we have ChatGPT help?
Yeah, it wasn't available yet.
Oh.
He just graduated.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
There's that meme that goes around and it's got the parent's face and it's like the look on your face when school calls home to say your kid's failing math, but you've been the one doing the homework.
Yeah.
That was sweet because the thing that gets me the most about all of that is they were robbed of so much learning as far as social interaction. I mean, you just sat at home.
Yeah. Now everybody's homeschooled.
Yeah.
And, the homeschool kids are the weird ones. But that's all right. This isn't the society you probably want to integrate in anyway. You were talking about, being glad you're not born later. Just things getting worse. Did national anthems get worse?
I personally feel like
I haven't heard it, man. I haven't heard it at all.
The 90s with Roseanne Barr and Carl Lewis are the worst national
Carl Lewis
anthems.
is my favorite, my all-time favorite. But this was Jewel. Was this the Indianapolis 500?
Must have been. I've seen people trashing it. I have not listened to the.
You haven't heard it either,
no.
Mr. Brown. Have you?
You're not the singer, Jewel.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
all right. So
Because once I saw it was the singer Jewel, I was like, I don't need to listen to this. She's a professional singer. Why am I listening to the
well,
national?
no, now we got to listen to it. Why? Nobody came prepared. We're going to talk about this and not know.
You know, Chad, this was your topic. You should have been bringing the
We
heat.
figured, as always, Chad, you would just lead the way here.
Well, here we go.
know how
I wasn't going to
Bo
reenact
knows?
it.
Chad knows.
Once I get through this Google Chrome ad, I'm gonna play it and we'll get a live reaction here.
Oh, no.
None of us have heard it. Did anybody even know the Indianapolis 500 took place? Did you pay attention to that?
No.
I knew there was a race in Charlotte because I saw it on Facebook.
Oh, let's see here.
And the Rockets, red clear.
Easy, Carl Lewis.
As award-winning singer-songwriter Jewel performs our national anthem.
Here we go.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light
Interesting take.
what so proudly
Is this trending or something?
Yeah.
at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad
Strung out.
stripes
I don't know why this was trending the way it was. I'm glad we all listened to it together for the first time.
Maybe it gets worse. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's like,
It's an interesting take.
Her version of it. That's
yeah.
oh, okay.
She just sounded like Biggie right there. Maybe that's what it was.
Nobody reacts in humor, though. Can you name 5 NASCAR drivers? Oh, this is Indy. Never mind. I can't name 5 Indy drivers. That was a rough transition.
Yeah.
All right, it is kind of a crappy version. Now that I'm listening to it, this is really long, too.
So at the Super Bowl, you'd have bet the over and you'd be just counting the money right now.
So, I guess if you know it sucks, but she thinks it's good, but like, quit dragging it out. Our ears are bleeding.
These poor men in uniform behind her. She's still going. The Jets doing the flyover. They're already in the next state. Missed our cue.
It's not as bad as I thought it would be, but
I was expecting worse.
Yes.
she clearly like thinks she sounds good, and she drug it out way worse than she should have.
Everybody goes country, though. What's up with that? She was kind of a little folksy to begin with. I guess.
Country.
Back to
I
your
think she was like
roots.
3 different types there during that song.
Yes.
She transitioned a couple of times.
It did.
For being, a professional singer who's, 20 years and 30 years into her career, it was pretty bad, but it was no Carl Lewis.
It was no Fergie. Remember that one?
Oh, that was a disaster.
Was that his national anthem?
I remember.
I remember Fergie singing something really bad.
It was very delicious.
No, it wasn't. I think she did. She was in the All-Star game. NBA, I think is what it was.
Was she still married to Josh Duhamel at the time?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Keep running,
He's from
running.
I thought we were going with that. What happened? I thought we were doing a little hot tub time machine. We're going to act like we wrote this song just now.
It was great.
Now I'm disappointed.
Sorry,
I was geeked, ready to go.
I know.
I don't even like the peas, the black eyed peas.
I actually like that song for some reason.
It will get you moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
I would have liked it better if old dude really sang the song, the original.
What was up with the albino dude in that group? You ever see that? There was that one guy with the black eyed peas.
I think that was the dude he left UB40.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
That guy in the 90s that was as white could be.
I always thought that was a Jamaican, and I see it. It's this albino white dude singing like a Jamaican.
What about Snow? Do you remember that guy?
Informer, Nicky Boom Boom Down.
What did he say in the middle of it?
I don't know. A lot of biggie-isms.
A lot of skibbity.
Yes. A lot of wheels real quick.
You know he was Canadian.
Yes, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Oh, the maple syrup.
Wow. I don't think anyone could tell us the lyrics of Snow. Was it Informer's the name of the song?
Informer's the name of it.
Yeah.
I remember.
So his name was Snow?
Yeah.
Because he was so albino.
Yeah. You know what the name of
Sure,
that?
it's because
I had the
so
cassette.
albino?
You know what the name of the album was called?
What?
12 Inches of Snow.
I was going to call it Blizzard.
I mean, that would work too. That might have been his follow-up album.
Yeah.
I guess that's a one-hit wonder, though. I can't think of another song by Snow. Not that that's what I wanted to talk about.
Sorry.
The other thing, I do want to talk about this because I'm very passionate about this topic. Leveon Bell was in the headlines. Did you see what he was kind of causing a stir about?
This generation's Ricky Williams, only he's not as good.
I don't know. I think he probably has better numbers than Ricky did.
Ricky was a better player.
Than Leveon Bell?
Yes.
Well, I don't know if I agree.
Le'Veon Bell had a great run when he was in Pittsburgh, and he had Antonio Brown out there, Hall of Famer Big
I'm
Ben.
not arguing that.
I think Le'Veon was a better pro, but I would say Ricky was the better collegiate athlete.
So
Easily.
Yeah.
Le'Veon had the better career. Ricky was the more talented player, is what I would say.
Okay.
That's
all right.
fair.
I can agree with that. Ricky was in some bad places there. He lost. He had bad people around him starting out.
Just think about this. Let's say Ricky would be playing today because they don't even test for marijuana anymore. Think about the stats he would have put up.
The NFL does.
No, I don't think they do anymore.
No,
Yeah,
that's-
the NFL does.
Do they?
yeah,
The
that's
NBA
why this is-
doesn't.
Oh, it's the NBA.
Yeah. That's why it's such a big deal.
Why wouldn't you tell? That makes no damn sense.
I don't disagree, but so Le'Veon Bell he's done, so he can talk about it.
Right.
But he's saying he said he would get high before every game.
Even the best athletes have aches and pains.
Well, I mean, I can definitely make the case against taking opioids. You know what I mean?
Self-medicate, brother.
It works.
I think of this era, Marshawn Lynch said he drank Hennessy before every game.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't get about that, remember the way back in the day they had ESPN show, it was like Hard Knocks, it was on the NFL, and they had a running back who was on drugs, played by like LL Cool J. So here's my thing. If you're getting high before the game, that stuff's wearing off at halftime. Like you sneak it into the bathroom.
You're not. You need it more in the second half,
Yes.
I would imagine. But that is an advantage for the running back. Dude don't care. He's getting wrecked by these linebackers. He's like, it's cool, bro. He's just going to go about his business. I don't know. I thought it was funny, but Josh Gordon, probably doesn't think it's funny, and that's why he never had the career because again they test for that. But anyway. I guess people are acting surprised by this, but I mean, I'm sure it's probably.
How can you be surprised that a guy who turned down how many ever million guaranteed 14, 15 on the franchise tag sat on a yacht in Miami for a year before signing another contract likes to get high?
Yeah.
I mean, but what is the reason that we're saying with all these states now that have recreational use of marijuana across the country? And we're going to say that we're going to test athletes. I mean, it's not like you're in the DOT driving a truck down the road.
No. And look, I get it if you're doing it as a health safety, or if it's a
so if you're
steroid,
doing,
Yeah, but for NFL players, it's no different than alcohol for their perspective. Period.
I mean, I don't disagree. But as to why?
I wonder why, you would think the players union would really come forward with that because of the fact that
they have.
But it would be so much better than them taking pain pills and because the shit's going to pile up with these injuries and they're sore. Just smoke a joint and call it a day.
To me, that's the thing in the NFL. Every time they come to where they have to do a new collective bargaining agreement, I'm amazed that the NFL, as physical as it is, the players union isn't able to get no marijuana testing. Instead, they agree to get shot up and given pills constantly, which are horrible for you. Pills are so addicting.
Bud Kilmer's in every locker room.
There's a lot of ex-players like a Kyle Turley and a Ricky Williams and guys like that they have this whole movement they're trying to do. But, the NFL, the owners decide what happens.
But it just makes no sense.
They don't want to give that. I wonder if it's like a moral thing, like they care about it so passionately, or is it the bargaining chip they don't want to let go?
Well, I think it's more of an image thing for the league. The league is trying to promote these guys to everyone, women, children. If you don't test for it, all of a sudden these guys now have endorsement deals. You play for the Broncos, I got my own dispensary. You're going to buy a jersey for 8-year-old Johnny of a guy who's high 24.
Here's the deal, though.
Montana.
LeBron's high as hell half the damn time, and he's still getting endorsements. What's the difference?
The NBA is viewed completely different.
Because the players run the NBA.
Yeah.
I hate Adam Silver. I swear, I'm standing on this island that he is a damn alien. Look at him.
I
hate him.
You
know what Adam Silver is? Men in Black, when the dude dies, he's got the little one. Yeah.
So he's just the man in the costume.
He is the creepiest commissioner in all of sports.
Ever?
I don't know about
I don't know about ever, but I mean, he's definitely currently.
He's on the Mount Rushmore.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Dude, that dude is creepy. Like, if he showed up to a party and everybody's like, oh, it's Adam Silver, I'm getting the hell out of there. Because I'm thinking anal probes are next.
Like, Adam Silver to me is the guy who,
I hate that guy.
when you turn your
You don't
back,
like anal probes?
like he has go-go gadget arms and fingers.
Yeah, I agree.
Go Gadget. That's good shit.
I don't like Adam Silver. I'm sorry. Everybody shits on Manfred and Goodell, but I think they're way better than Puppet over there.
If you want to look at
I
it,
don't
Goodell's the
think
best commissioner in all sports.
Yeah.
Who?
Goodell. He is.
I think so.
NFL's bulletproof.
Yep.
They really are.
Like, it's hilarious that he shows up to every draft and they boo him off the stage, no matter what city he's in, and he just does his thing.
He's like, I got a $75 million contract.
Roger Goodell
Yeah.
has been the absolute perfect head of the NFL since he took over as commissioner, 2007-ish, whatnot. Technically, step down, because to me, Roger Goodell and what he's been able to do for the NFL, he's like the Teflon Don. He's like John Gotti. He's up there. You're throwing spears at him. You're booing him. He talks for 45 minutes at these State of the Union, State of the League things and never says a word.
You ain't hearing nothing about them damn concussions.
Let me ask you this, Biggie. So then, first question, why is it cool to hate the commissioner? One, two, and two, why do they hate Roger Goodell?
Before you say it,
there's a lot of
why don't you
reasons.
collect your thoughts there? It's hilarious. It reminds me of wrestling when Vince McMahon would come out and people would boo him.
But they secretly loved him.
It's like, wait a minute, this is the guy that owns the company, though, but you're booing the character. Is Goodell just the character?
Yeah.
I don't know. But the reason why they hate it, like, he mismanaged.
No, why is it cool to hate commissioners?
Why is it cool? Because
we all think that we
glass
can
house,
do better
man.
than them.
Yeah.
Would you not start tomorrow as a commissioner in Major League Baseball and be better than Rob Manfred? Yeah.
It's debatable.
You'd be like, it'd be hard not to.
Yeah.
So, like, the NFL
He's cool to
just...
hate. And then he's made so many decisions on players and different teams that fan bases of those teams hate him. It becomes an overall type thing.
So the NFL just had the rule with the kickoffs and the touchbacks and the punts and
25 yards.
Everything's 25 now. Yeah. So like a lot of players, like if you're hear me out. This is putting people out of work.
Devin Hester.
Yeah. Your kickers, your gunners for special teams that you might have, like your Steve Tasker, like a guy like that may not if that part of the game
Matthew
is
Slater
gone.
goes to the Pro Bowl every year for the Patriots. He's listed as a wide receiver. Basically, he's special teams gunner, one of the best 2 or 3 in the league. You're pretty much eliminating because all you're trying to do is, as long as our punt doesn't get blocked, they're going to fair catch it. And
They just want more offense. They don't want the returns.
and then they do these studies where they say kickoffs and punts are where
Safety.
more injuries come from.
Yeah.
So it's a safety concern. But
Now,
at the same
how
time,
much is that going to change stats now, though, where there's less returns and more quarterback, passing yards, running back, rushing yards?
Yeah, it'll change until what'll happen is the team will figure out, well, instead of kicking touchbacks, kick the ball straight up in the
Patriots
air.
have already
and try to
started.
entice them to return it. They'll be analytics.
Well, I mean,
on
for
it.
a punt, you could just kick it out of bounds down near the 10.
For
Right.
punts, they did that. For kickoffs, when they did a touchback or even catching it at 3 fair catch, took it to the 25.
Yeah.
Until they did that, the Patriots, instead of doing a touchback, Belichick would have them kick it to the 4 or 5 yard line and try to get them in front of the 20. Well, whenever they put it to 25, if I kick it to 5 and they're down at the 22, I gain 3 yards.
That's a way to look at it.
I'm kind of comparing it like this. So I guess my question is, so with like MLB making the bases bigger, the stolen bases are out of control now, just from that small tweak on the size of the bases. So by this 5 yards, how much do we think passing yards, because it's mainly passing yards more than rushing yards, how much do we see a spike as far as percentage across the league?
I don't think the average field position is going to change that much to make it go one way or the
Because I
other.
think it's only going to be an overall, each game, it'll be 10 or 15 yards of field position.
That's it?
You gain
Yeah.
from that.
So then, why is everybody losing their minds about it?
Because
of
it's
those
taking
players?
Yeah, it's taking
Well,
the
because
returns
now as
out
a
of it.
coach, what you're going to do is unless you have, and
It's
I
no
can't think of the
football.
guy in the league right now that's that guy. But if you had Devin Hester, you tell him to go with it. If you don't have Devin Hester, now you just send a guy back and you tell him just fair catch it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
You're taking that aspect. It's just like when they did
Screw
the
that.
onside kick.
I'm not even putting the guy back. I'm just full block every time.
yeah, exactly. You better hope he picks it.
That's what I pick on Madden, damn it. Now it's real life.
It's now or never.
And they changed the
Empty net,
onside.
goalie.
You can't have a running start anymore.
Yeah.
Now nobody recovers it. You still have to do it at the end of the game, but
Can't we-
Speaking of running starts, I never understood how you could do that in the CFL where you just run past it and they don't call offsides.
Yeah, it's Canadian, huh?
How's that happen?
It's their rules. They make their own rules, man.
I've always wondered that, and it just popped in my head.
Hey, why did they only have 3 downs? Did you know that?
No.
They only have 3 downs. And the field's like,
120 yards.
yeah. And it's wider, too, isn't it?
Yes.
It's just goofy.
Could you imagine, like,
the
just,
metric system?
just taking off running, just no care in the world?
like, no,
I'm going to get mine.
Everyone's fair catching me.
All these places use like the metric system, and in America, it's like that's 3 football fields
He said
away.
America.
America.
Yeah, we do
He
have
says
this-
America, but then he says New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
You can't say anything south of the Mason-Dixon line, correct?
It's true. It's true.
But the I don't know. What were we talking about? I don't even remember now.
We're
all
talking
over the place.
about the NFL rule change about the punt.
It started with
It
the.
got all over the place.
No, that's where
Well,
conversation
it started with
go.
Adam Silver, and then it went to Roger Goodell, and then it went to the.
All right,
But
reel us back in here, Ernie Johnson.
I don't even know if I can. I didn't want to ask you. I don't know if that many people care about this, but I did want to ask you.
Ernie Johnson says you're fired, by
So
the way.
I know. I'll see myself out there.
Blow a quad on the way down.
Yeah, are you excited about your boy Soroka coming back?
Yes.
Are you nervous?
He already came back. He already had his first start.
Yeah,
Picked
but
him
like,
up in my other league. He pitched 5 innings.
So he first start in 3 years, over a thousand days.
what happened? Why hasn't he played?
Well, he's had two torn Achilles.
How do you do that?
I don't know. I think it was different. It was each Achilles.
So he should never tear that Achilles again.
I would hope. We'll see.
It's like made
So,
of
here-
adamantium. or
People
whatever.
don't realize. I mean, so the Braves have this great rotation now with Max Fried leading the charge. And when him and Max Fried were coming up around the same time, and Soroka was regarded as the higher, more polished prospect than Max Fried.
He was going to be the guy.
The only full season he's had in the big leagues, he was 13-4, and his ERA was around 2.75. What? Only full season.
Yep.
And then he couldn't stay healthy. So, and he's from Canada.
Oh, Canada!
But so the Braves didn't even figure him into their plans this year because they quit figuring him in. Like
Right.
anything
Well,
else
'cause
was
last
on.
year-
Count on you.
Last year, when he's like 2 months into the season, they were expecting him back before the All-Star break, and that's when he did the other Achilles.
Right. So, but he pitched against the A's. You would think a great first start. Well, the A's took 2 of 3 from the Braves.
Ouch.
Yeah, the A's were 10-43 heading into that series. They take 2 out of 3 from the Braves in Oakland. 2,000 people in attendance. 1,000 of them were Braves fans, and they still lost 2 out of 3. But that's baseball.
That
So,
is baseball.
you want to guess how many games the A's are projected to win in a 162-game season?
49.
37.
32.
Oh.
Is that low?
It's going to be the worst in the modern era unless they pick it up.
I guess 37, because I knew they have like 12 or 13 right now, and they have like close to 40 losses. So I figure that's a little over a third of the season.
Did we confirm our conversation from last week that it is absolutely official that they're moving no matter what?
No, it's not official. You're right. 100% right.
So, I mean, they're just trying to make sure.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't going to go ahead and check these boxes, we'll just make sure this shit is unwatchable.
So, like, when I was watching the Braves series, there was a dude sitting right behind home plate on TV, and every time he'd stand up, and he's obviously he's an A's fan. He don't want to relocate. His shirt just said, it had A's colors, the bright yellow with the green lettering, and it just said sell. Like, sell the team.
Yeah.
So here's my thing, and maybe
suck.
I'm like way off my rocker and I'm in a different dimension here, but when I watch the A's play this year, I think of the original Major League movie where she's going to put such a bad product on the field because
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. Now on the head.
We can't get a stadium here.
There's
going to be so bad.
There's no Hollywood ending here.
Do you remember?
This is what would really happen.
Do you remember what the the alternate ending of Major League was?
That they did move to Miami, right?
That Rachel Phelps really was a good person.
Oh, I remember you telling us.
And
this.
all along was just doing it to motivate the team, and it worked. Yeah.
No one's motivating these days because they suck so bad and they have the minimum salaries across baseball because they're a bunch of nobodies and they still got to pay for soda.
That's an outrage.
Yeah.
Dave Justice would be pissed.
Randy Justin is your hitting coach.
Speaking of Dave Justice and Moneyball, if true Moneyball really worked, the A's could put together a team that was competitive with this low of a budget.
Well, that's what they've done in the past, right?
But what I'm saying is we all love that movie and we love Moneyball, but they leave out that they had 3 aces on the staff. And
You got to...
They didn't even mention Miguel Tejada and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But it's good for Hollywood. And I still love the movie because it is a good concept.
It was on the other night and I watched it.
Are you guys going to watch the remake for White Men Can't Jump with Jack
Harlow and whoever? My kid's supposed to, Dad, Jack Harlow's in White Men Can't Jump.
Who's Jack Harlow?
He's a rapper, man.
I don't know.
Get with
He's a
it.
white
rapper.
So he's the new Eminem?
And he's got the grandma hair like all the kids do nowadays.
Like the perm?
Yeah, kind of.
Put it this way. The last white guy who thought he was a rapper, Machine Gun Kelly, decided he'd diss Eminem, and Eminem got him so bad, Machine Gun Kelly switched to a different genre of music.
Now he's like opera, right?
You know how big he's been reading like Spin Magazine? He's up on all the gossip.
Well, when you got teenagers, you know this stuff by default.
Well, here's the thing. He's going to say it's a teenager, but when someone shits as much as Biggie, he needs some bulletin board material in the turlet area.
In the toilet.
That comes after my conspiracy theory reading.
Exactly.
Oh, that never ends.
Yes.
The other guy
Cooper's taking
that came back that was a big deal was Hendricks for the White Sox.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
So, for that one, he had stage 4 lymphoma.
Yeah.
And you get stage 4, you're pretty much thinking, you're not thinking baseball. You're thinking
the same thing Eric Berry had for Kansas City.
I don't know.
Ooh, I don't know what. Yeah, he had cancer, but I don't know if it was lymphoma.
All I'm saying is when you hear stage 4, you're not, at that point, you're not thinking baseball anymore. You're thinking, I'm going to die. And the man,
Try to survive.
The man went through the treatment. He came back. And the very first pitch, after a long standing ovation, I give Major League credit. Obviously, there was no violation
They
here.
didn't turn the clock on.
And if they did, oh God. Anyways,
That'd be the.
he fired a 96-mile-an-hour strike on his first pitch back from stage 4 lymphoma.
Crowd pop for that.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And the White Sox have been god awful, but
That's a highlight of their season.
you gotta love a dude like that. I mean, how do you not root for that?
Yeah. Like he just to get back. That's a hell of a thing.
With a name like Liam Hendricks, here's an Irishman, former member of the II. Cats I can't kill,
He's
man.
going Irish on us.
Former member of the Oakland A's.
He said, IRAs is what he said. Come on, that was a good joke. I didn't even get a smile out of that.
No.
Out of the IRAs instead
Liam.
of it's because Biggie's Irish impression.
Yeah. I didn't know what the hell he was doing.
At some point, we got to go to Ireland just so we can sit at a pub somewhere and see if they really drink like that.
It's not Biggie's, it is Biggie's fault. So it's not my fault, okay? He has so many Biggieisms, I don't know where to begin. And I don't even know where it starts. I don't know where it ends. Sometimes I don't know what the hell language he's speaking. Sometimes I think he's speaking in tongues. Sometimes I think he's possessed.
They are verbal, nonverbal. Sometimes.
Now, when I see the reverse crab walk by Biggie, I'm getting the hell out.
You run my hell. That'd be a Chad-shaped hole in that wall.
Yeah, I'm gone. Yeah, exactly. Wile E. Coyote.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No Acme products
If
needed.
this big man is walking frisk on a backwards crab walk, I'm out.
What if,
This is over.
that's a nightmare image you don't want. I'm sorry we put you in that place, Biggie.
Damn it, he knows it's true.
Hey, did you
So, let's do that. Chat, what is it?
Chat GPT?
Chat GPT, please translate Biggie's text. Could they do it?
I don't know. You're pushing the boundary of technology.
So we're not quite there yet.
Not quite there.
Well, see,
We've been witnessing it for years. Chat GPT is going to take some time to have to just get immersed in the culture.
No, I understand that.
I think we killed him.
Yeah. If he comes walking in there backwards crab walk, I'm telling you, I'm going to sweet chin music into the head. Because I could actually reach him for once.
What if he was naked walking backwards?
Oh, here he goes. Now he's moonwalking. Hey, I like that. The moonwalk I can handle. He did it. Look at him. Oh, son.
Wow. He can do 2 steps before he has to turn back around.
And the women's panties dropped everywhere.
Can you say moist?
Moist.
Why do women hate that word?
I don't know. Is there a word you hate like that? That we can say on the air?
I mean, here's my thing. So, why is moist a bad thing for women? Because it clearly means they're ready to engage. If someone says, oh, he's erect. Oh, yes, I am. Let's go.
I don't like that word.
Erect?
I don't like it.
Yes. What do you prefer, Chad? He is boing.
Stiff.
Okay. Whatever makes you sleep at night.
That would make me sleep.
And them.
Biggie's backward crab walk is not going to allow me to
I
sleep.
would not sleep for months after that.
I'll do my draft intro now.
We're coming up brainstorming on the spot.
Please don't. He can do the Bray Wyatt. There
There
it
you
is.
go. Bray Wyatt was my favorite.
Can you hold a lantern and crab walk with one hand backwards?
like an 8?
Here's the thing. I'm going to use a real lantern. So when I drop it and the fire starts, you just make sure you take care of that.
I just think you went to the Gangrel entrance.
Yeah,
Coming around where we are, I'd end up rolling down to your creek.
He's like, part of my entrance is burning down the studio.
And burning myself on fire. No matter how much I scream, don't stop the presentation.
Exactly.
Seth Rollins.
Ernie, reel us in, Ernie.
I don't know if I had a couple things I was going to ask you guys about just because I saw this. What? You got excited?
Well, which one are you going with? I see the last two that you have here on your list. Is
I don't know. I was going to go with the Al Pacino thing first.
Yeah,
because we were talking about dirty.
Is this where he
things.
had a child?
Yeah, I didn't realize.
Do you know how old Al Pacino is?
85.
83. Do you know how old his girlfriend is? Girlfriend.
28?
29.
29.
You saw what happened. He had one up Robert De Niro.
Yes. Robert De Niro is 85 and just had a kid with his.
Well, apparently he didn't one up at them.
What is up with these dudes?
Here's what's crazy. I am 41. I've had a vasectomy for a decade. By age 31. And I never want to know more kids. I'm not looking back. I don't want no mistakes. And these guys are having them 85. What are you doing?
You know why
you have
they do it?
caregivers.
They got money.
So you got Leo. He won't date a woman over what, 25 still?
Yeah, that's what happens.
Okay.
Leo, every time that girl gets to 25, she's gone.
Come on,
You know why those young
Yeah.
girls are willing to date the old guys? Because you're not snipped. So they're like, nah, who cares if he's 60 years older than me? He's not snipped yet and he's got billions.
He'll get
Let's go
get me
for it.
pregnant and then I'm set.
Yeah, they don't get snipped so they can still stay. They
Well,
got
just
a
say
job.
you're snipped and just go raw dog it.
Yeah, lie, right?
Pretend you're snipped.
Don't lie.
Speaking of the
Just don't bring it up.
Right.
not raw,
That-
dirty, horrible
That's not a
part.
consensual conversation that always happens.
I mean, if you don't say I'm snipped, then who cares?
right.
Oh, I'll pretend to have a baby with you.
Clint Eastwood just turned 93.
Is he knocking somebody up?
He's next. He's
He's
next.
not that guy.
He's next.
Nah.
He's been
he's-
married forever and then he got married again, but he's not that guy.
It's
I'm
probably-
telling you,
probably-
him and Jack Nicholson are probably high-fiving up top in L.A. right now. Think of that image.
I get sad thinking about Jack now.
I don't know. But
I
at least,
saw him
at least he's out in the public again.
Lakers Nuggets series, and it was just weird. You could tell because he's Jack. He don't care. But the last time I had seen him out, he was Jack. Now
I feel like we're getting too close to one flew over the cuckoo's nest. Man.
Now he's an old man. Whereas before, the last time you seen him 2 years ago, he still had that style, the kind of that intrigue of Jack. And now he just literally he comes out of the abyss from 2 years. He's got like cat hair on his shirt.
His hair's looking like Ernie McCracken.
And he really like has an old watch from the 70s, and he's just like, yeah, you're right, Ernie McCracken.
Yeah.
So like he's like just happy to be there, and he just literally threw on like jog pants.
Man,
it is crazy too that these guys are still popping out kids as old as they are, and that's who we grew up watching in the movies. You're going to have Eastwood, Pacino, De Niro.
Eastwood having no kids.
Jack.
You just said it.
No, I'm just saying that, but those four are going to die soon, and they're legends of the industry.
Well, at least two of them have some more offspring to carry it on, I guess.
I will say,
I think it's because they're so disappointed in their other kids. So
Probably.
I just want you to know, like, Dad or Grandpa, why are you doing this? Because you're a disappointment, Emily.
It's literally like from
they're all trying to keep up with Mick Jagger.
It's literally like from Mr. Deeds, where he's like, "Daddy, no!" That's what they've been dealing with for 50 years.
Yes.
They keep trying for that perfect offspring to lead the new Aryan race.
Why's it got to be Aryan?
I'm just saying.
Why'd you have to take us down that road? Blue eyes. I thought we might have been talking Guardians of the Galaxy again.
Yeah.
Because that was, something we just talked about. We had to take it dark. You want to take it dark.
Yes.
It's got to come down to that level.
If you like to occasionally go dark, this is the podcast for you.
I don't know if it is. I have to ask you this question. Did you were you a fan of American Gladiators?
Huge fan.
Did you watch it all the time?
Not all the time, but I know I've watched it.
I feel like it was always on like late at night.
Yeah.
Like you could watch it like 11 o'clock.
The best thing about it was I love their names.
Oh, like it was like
Thunder,
Blaze.
It was like dodgeball, right? Like Blazer and Taser.
That's what it was.
Yes.
When we were kids,
And Orgasmo.
you only got 3 channels. So in Draper, Dakota, you got that once a week.
Nitro.
So me and my cousins, Terrence and Brandon, set up our own American Gladiators course.
Hell yes.
In my mom's house, and then in their T&B brothers in their mom's house. In my mom's house, it was one of those old ones where they had vents in the floor so the heat would come off the eyes.
Yeah.
And we had the course going, and it turned into a wrestling match between Brandon and Terrence. Terrence's leg went through, knocked the grate out of the floor, and his leg was hanging downstairs. It was just us three there. So B held him. I went downstairs, started pulling on his leg. It's my favorite American Gladiators memory.
He tried to dismember this poor kid as he was stuck between floors.
Sorry, trip down memory lane. What I was going to say is that of all the events, which was your favorite?
That's what I was going to ask too. So I can tell you the ones I didn't like. I did not like the rings. I wasn't a fan of that. I feel like it took forever for action to happen.
This is literally like a glorified field day.
It really was. I loved Assault because that's.
Oh, do you?
Because the tennis ball.
How's your wife feel about this?
Oh, well, Assault?
Yeah.
I don't know. She's not allowed to talk about it.
I'll let you breathe in a minute.
It's like going on a date with Quagmire.
You know what? Don't. Eat giggity good. I was trying to talk about CO2 fired tennis balls.
All right, go ahead.
But that was if you remember what Assault was, it was the one with the tennis ball guns.
You got a gun, but you didn't have to start with. You're behind a pedestal. You kind of had to pop out.
And they're shooting.
Trying to get them to shoot one
bow.
so you could go over to the next.
Yeah, I like that one just because I always thought they sucked, like they couldn't hit the target.
Yeah.
You know, but that one, and then I love the final of it, the Eliminator. That was good. But what was yours?
See, I can't speak to it enough because I didn't watch it enough. I just remember the chiseled men and women serving our great broadcasting system.
Nice.
So they had they had China before China. They had buff chicks on there.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
I'm gonna keep talking. I want to hear about your event.
But did they have one night in American Gladiator?
Wow, that was on a different channel.
Okay, Cinemax After Dark.
That was a man. That's loud.
Cinemax After Dark.
It was starred Johnny Holmes.
No.
My favorite event was the tennis ball one because if you were able to get to a certain spot, you got a gun yourself. And it made me feel like I was like in Rambo. Like, I always wanted to do that event. I'll evade and dodge, and I'll take you down. Because when you're a kid, you think you're going to do that stuff. The rings I didn't care for either because it was really slow-paced. I like the other one where you were, like, running through and they had the big pads and they had to try and knock you down and off.
Well, there was some events I did like. I like the one where they got in the big ball, the cage.
Yeah, that was another one I liked.
But it was so aggravating because the targets they had to hit on, like they never could nestle in there just right.
So, like at the North Dakota State Fair, they have those big balls, and you can get inside of them and ram each other. It's like bumper cars, only you're inside of this big rubber ball. We would go up there, go to a concert, get plowed, and then we'd get in those balls at the end. There was always one guy who filled it up with puke.
I was trying to pull up the original list, but this is becoming exhausting, and maybe more effort is required than I'm willing to give. But I was going to see if you could name any of the original gladiators.
Thunder, Blaze, Alexa.
I don't know.
There was a big black dude, I swear his name was Zeus.
They might have. No, that was.
Oh, am I thinking of the guy in the
That's
Hogan?
That's the wrestler.
Yeah, that's Tiny Lister.
Oh.
Yeah, he's taller than Hulk Hogan.
He's a big dude.
No, he is taller.
Yeah.
Like they listed Hogan at 6'7".
You know how wrestlers are.
I know.
They're always like 3 inches,
Yeah.
At least off.
Yeah.
It's terrible. So
I got people texting me, it's about to go down. Let's go Denver.
Yeah, it is about that time to watch it. I was just going to say there was a documentary coming out about 30 for 30 about American Gladiators, but that was it. Didn't know if you were interested in it or not. So, any chance Miami steals game 1 here?
Zero chance.
I can't say game 1, but Miami does win one game.
You don't think? I feel like if there was one to win, it is game 1. Like
I think they win one of Miami.
Little.
I think they come out strong to start with, but
Is Denver going to be a little? They're awful.
Yeah.
They haven't played for a week.
I think that benefits the Joker though,
I mean,
because he's unathletic and he got a chance to
It's
rest.
not bad getting rest this time of year.
So I just have a.
Now, if they
Nice.
put Jimmy buckets, pressing in full court, I will take a game 1.
If that happens, I'll eat my hat.
There you
I'm
go.
wearing one.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you guys a few different
It won't happen because they're stupid.
prop bets or futures bets
I
from
like
the finals
it.
before it starts.
Let's hear it.
And what you're going to do at the end of this, I'm giving each one of you $100 of Monopoly money.
I made a meme about Monopoly.
And at
Recently.
the end, you tell me which one you think you'd throw it on because it's guaranteed money, okay? So the Joker to average a triple-double in the NBA Finals. It's a minus 140, which they're saying they think it's very likely. MVP, Jimmy Butler, plus 430.
Hold on, so we're going to talk about the first one?
Well, no, we had to.
I was going to read you.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
The odds-on favorite for the MVP is the Joker. I wouldn't put my money there. If they win it, he's getting it. I like going a little further down that list. If Miami wins it, Butler's getting it. He's a plus 430 for $100. You'd win 430, get over 530 back for your return. Jamal Murray is who I like in this spot. He's a plus 1,200.
No chance.
Jamal Murray is an absolute baller.
There's no way.
There's no chance. Only if Jokic goes down.
Well, for betting money, I like the odds. But yes, you're right. It's Joker. I'll give you a couple other guys.
Like
who
they're
are
going
studs.
even if Jokic averages poorly, they'll give it to him just out of reprise for.
I feel like if his shooting's down and he still has the other, he'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be like, sorry, we didn't give you the other MVP this year, but you get this one.
Yeah, the one that matters.
The other guy here, because people said he should have won the Eastern Conference Finals, Larry Bird Award MVP, Caleb Martin. He's a plus 6,500.
See, I disagree. It should have been Jimmy.
That's what I thought too. I agree. Jimmy got it.
Like, I got that Caleb played above his head, but, come on, man. I'm not rewarding you for your exceeding expectations.
Your
of
gap
one.
was bigger.
Right. Come on, man. Go home.
So you got Jokic to average triple-double, Jimmy Butler plus 430, Jamal Murray plus 1,200, and then the finals total games. So a sweep either way is a plus 420. 6 games plus 250, 7 games plus 250. So if you think it's a sweep, you're getting 4-1 on your dollar.
Dude, I'll throw $100 down on my 3-pick parlay of Joker getting the
MVP.
MVP, him averaging a triple-double.
See, I don't think he does.
And Nuggets in 5.
Yeah.
That's
Well, you didn't say nothing about 5. You went from 4 to
He was
6 to
getting
7.
into
So
sweep
I'll
and
give
all
you
that.
5. Oh,
was a
so
sweep.
4 was 420, 5 was 185, 6 and 7 were both 250.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
And then the one other one I wanted to throw out there, just because this can go so many different ways, because guys can score a ton of points on a losing team. They have the NBA Finals scoring leader. They have Jokic at plus 110, and this is for both teams' highest average. Butler at plus 170, Jamal Murray at plus 260, and then the odds jump out of this world. Michael Porter at plus 6,500, Caleb Martin at plus 6,500, Aaron Gordon at plus 2,000.
No, so if you're betting, it's Caleb Martin. If you're
Yeah.
betting. But
I like the Caleb Martin odds on a
Right.
losing team.
Correct.
Yeah.
If you're betting, Caleb Martin could be the guy. Like, he could score 30 points this series per game because he was at 20-something in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
But that don't mean he's winning shit.
So, of those listed, is there one certain one you said this is guaranteed money, or are there a couple you think you would like to
I
parlay?
think Jokic winning the MVP.
Okay.
That's guaranteed to me. I don't think he does a triple-double this series.
Okay, I don't either. I think he's guaranteed MVP if they win. I don't think he does a triple-double, and I don't think that he leads them in scoring. I actually think Jamal Murray is going to lead them in scoring.
And he's fine with that.
It depends on how Miami plays him.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say this. Jimmy Butler to win Finals MVP before the conference finals started was like a plus 1250 or plus 1450. So if that point you thought Miami was making the finals and you threw $100 down for Jimmy Butler, they could lose and he could still win Finals MVP. It's only Jerry West's the only one to ever do it.
That's not
Anyway,
happening.
that's a $1,400 return on your $100 investment.
Why didn't they give the MVP to LeBron that one year, even though they lost?
I don't know. It's just like why'd they give it to Iggy instead of Steph Curry?
Like it's like, you remember how I was giving you shit last year about, like, people were talking about Draymond was doing great against Jokic in the playoffs, and you were like, what? He's only averaging 30, 14, and 12. What great job! It's the same thing. Like, they gave it to Iggy back in the day, but it's like, oh, you played great defense on LeBron, who averaged 34 points.
Yeah.
Like,
Look, LeBron torched him. He had a great series.
like what? Why?
If ever there was like a losing team should have won MVP, LeBron was amazing.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
I have one other one for you, and this one isn't a betting thing, but it just blows my mind. Who's the assists favorite for the series?
Jokic.
Okay, how many times in our lives do you go into a series where the guy who's projected to have the most assists is the biggest guy on the floor? Or the center? You know what I
Probably
mean?
the first.
It's just like, how many times do we think of that? Because LeBron gets assists, Magic got assists, but
Wait,
they're
let
6'8",
me
6'9",
let me
they're
change the
guards.
question. When's the last time the big man has been the reason why you are who you are? What team's identity was linked to their big man?
Bro, that's a good question. It's been at least a decade.
Yeah, it's been 2000s when you had Tim Duncan.
I was gonna say, is it what the hell?
Get it, son.
Yeah,
Hey, so I want to say this. The Joker, he's going to get the MVP of the finals. Embiid, who got the MVP, which is bullshit, he's going to look at Joker and he'll be like, hey, man, it reminded me of that 90s McDonald's commercial with Barkley. Hey, man, can I play? And he's going to be like, F you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get it when it counts, brother, because I am the Joker. I should have been 3-time, but I'm getting that chip.
Does he have that dog in him?
Joker?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's all I needed to know.
He put the Morris brothers out of the league. The other one got hurt because he hit one of them. I'll say this, and then I'm done with the betting stuff. I know that's my favorite saying. Jokic is minus 2,000 to be the assist leader. The number 2 guy is plus 2,700, Jimmy Butler. That's just how overwhelming it is that the Joker will have more assists than anyone else.
What's the odds if you just picked Miami to win?
So,
Because everybody's just like, oh, the Nuggets are one. Like, is it even going to be a show?
I'll get to there. So Miami to win
It's
the
not
series.
in our top 5 picks.
Well,
No, it's way
But
down.
let's reiterate, it was a 3% chance that Miami would beat Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals, yet here they are.
Yeah.
So they're not afraid of these odds. Let's
No.
be clear with that.
I don't think they pay attention to them. Or if they do, yeah, maybe that is.
And I hope I'm wrong. My God, I'd love to see 7 games here. I just don't see it because I didn't see it in the Boston series. But here we are.
Would you be? Who do you root for in this?
So
I never asked you that.
no. So I love Jimmy Butler.
I know.
Like Jimmy is the like he's like your
He's
high
the one
school.
that got away.
Before you say this, Jimmy Butler is like the one who got away. He's the great white buffalo for our Chicago Bulls.
He is.
I love
Him
Jimmy
and
Butler.
D-Rose was there.
I love
Oh,
Jimmy
my God.
Butler, but
That is the perfect analogy.
I love Joker too. I love both of those guys. So I feel like I'm fine with Denver winning because they've never won one. And I'm fine with that.
So you just want a good series.
Yeah, I do, but I love both of their headliners because they're both doing it the right way.
Isn't that great to see the finals
And
like
it's
that?
not a Hollywood ending, but it's what's good for basketball. If people would actually watch.
We can only get Dame Lillard.
Is that
in the
fair?
finals.
Yes. I like that.
Are you mad about it?
No. I read this article saying how Adam Silver's going to have a hard time with marketing for this series. You got Miami Heat been the
You're like,
Finals
bitch,
again.
you little alien. This is the best you got.
yeah. You got the Joker.
And he's like, bitch, Art's about to be canceled.
Yeah,
Shut up. We
yeah.
need this.
Yeah.
The Miami Heat are a plus 350 outright bet to win the series. Now they go down 0-1 tonight. That probably increases some.
Yeah, I'm
but
sure. Well, I'm probably not taking them. I was just curious.
I had to go through here and make some bets.
All right,
Let's see how much money.
so tip-off is getting ready to happen, man. So we're going to hop off here and watch the game. But Mr. Brown's taking a selfie over there. He had
Yeah.
his tongue out. Are you
licking
is
his
this me?
fingers.
I
think he's
can't
turning
tell.
a Pitcher.
He's wearing his sexy Savannah
on,
bananas.
What? Hold on.
No, forget it now.
All right. I'm canceling the show before anybody else hears Biggie doing his poses. Thanks for listening, everybody. Make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcast. We'll be back next week. And then we got a little adventure in a couple weekends, don't we?
It's next Friday.
Next Friday.
Are you ready?
Just a week.
You sure
going
you
fishing?
Are you off work? Have you
don't-
scheduled it?
I don't know.
Bro, it's next Friday.
I got to check some.
Get your head out of your
I got
ass.
to move some things around. We're going fishing, damn it. We'll be back to talk about it next week.